What's going on, everybody? This is going to be my video for my worst client ever. It was inspired during a conversation I had on my Twitch, same name, BAMvfx over at Twitch. That's where I paint my art. What you're watching now is me painting this right here. This is my super suit, what I do for what I put on for my art shows and functions that I go to. Up there is what I painted at Art Battle last week, and that was really my first time doing acrylic in a long time, besides a practice piece earlier in the week. But yeah, during the stream, Feel the Beat over on Twitch, another streamer, she came on. We had a discussion about just bad clients. See, a long time ago, I used to be a freelance designer. I still dabble in it a little bit, but my very first client doing a project by myself was an absolute nightmare. Gave me a real bad taste on, working with people. And come to find out over time, I've talked to other people, told other people this story. A lot of people have the same story. Very weird. So to paint the picture, I was working at 7-Eleven, third shift. I was running on a treadmill in life, not really not really going anywhere, not really getting anything done. In my off time though, I was painting, and I saw an ad in Craigslist looking for artists for gallery. New gallery going in town. I go, cool. So, I grab my best space paintings and everything, pack them up, head down there, and it was an art and a boutique. And they liked a couple of my pieces. They decided they wanted to put them in the gallery, and in discussion, started talking about graphic design and photography. Wanted somebody to, just like catalog their inventory with photography, and also they needed somebody to do a website. Me being, somewhat naive, I jumped at the opportunity. Now, it's owned by a small mom and pop couple. It was the vision of the wife, clothing boutique and art gallery. She was very, very sweet, very metropolitan and nice. And he was a retired businessman. He set up businesses and everything. And I dealt primarily with him, and they wanted the website. So he didn't want to pay what you would pay a design company to do a website, and I think he took advantage of my naivety. But I was smart enough to know, I knew I was getting lowballed. It's like, okay, I'll work something out with it. He wanted to pay me $350 a month just to maintain the website. Like, okay, we'll work something out here to where I lease you the website for the duration of the 6-month contract, and then we renegotiate, because we both agreed that, it's kind of on the low end. He's like, we'll pay you this, see how it goes, then we'll pay you more. Okay, sounds good. So we get started. I make a template for the website in Adobe Muse, of all things, like a dead software. I really enjoyed Adobe Muse, because at the time it was kind of like a precursor to, like, what websites are now. So it was really easy for me to make everything with it. But then it became, I had to come in, once a week for a few hours to catalog the new inventory of, different clothing aisles. It was about a 30-minute drive at the time. I had to take the city bus, so it was taking hours out of my day to go down there once a week and just photograph everything. And once a day, this guy would call me, and it was almost like I was becoming his therapist. He would want to talk to me like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, just minor changes to the website, but just rattling on. He'd go back and forth on stuff, and I was I was in a position where as contractually obligated, because we didn't have clear definitions of the work that needed to be done. About getting towards the end of my first 6-month service agreement, they wanted to do a TV spot, one of those 15-second TV spots, during the news, like this portion of Fox News has been brought to you by insert name of company, and they were having trouble finishing it up. But you see my YouTube channel and everything, I was like, I can do those graphics, no big deal. I'll get it done. And we agreed to, an extra $350 for that month, but he didn't pay me. Now, this is where it gets a little spicy. So in one of our counseling sessions, he started talking about the marketing manager from the news station where the spot was going to air, and he was talking about her in like a sexual fashion, things that he'd want to do. And weeks before that, I told him, I was like, I have to record every phone conversation because you don't want to do email, you don't want to do text. You tell me you want one thing, I do it, and you said you want something else. So from here on, I got to record all the conversations. Jumping back, he's talking about this marketing manager from the news company, and it just irked me the wrong way because, as I stated in the beginning, his wife, the co-owner of the company, was a darling. She was a sweetheart, and it wasn't right. I didn't like it, but I wasn't in too much of a position to do anything, at least at the moment. And so eventually, our agreement expired, and I go, hey, like it's time to renegotiate. And I wanted substantially more. It's like, for the amount of work that you have me putting in here, it needs to be something like, $1,200 a month. As much time as I'm investing, as much time as I got to sit and talk on the phone with you. And he was like, okay, we're just gonna have to go separate ways. And I go, but you need to pay me for that TV spot that I did. And he said he already paid me. I said, show the receipts. We went back and forth, never showed a receipt. But he just insisted that he paid me, but did not pay me. And I had an audio recording of him saying that he was going to pay me an additional $350 that month. So I go, I have him on the phone. I was like, let me play something here for you. I'll play you telling me that you were going to pay me. So I pull up an audio file, and I play him talking about the Fox lady. And I go, oops, that's not it. And then I clicked over to where he said he was going to pay me. Now, at this point, I just didn't want nothing to do with this anymore. It's like, look, we're going to go separate ways. I'm done here. Fine, whatever, $350. I don't want anything to do with you guys anymore. And then I took down the website. It was under a lease. He wasn't willing to pay me what I wanted for it. Our agreement was that it was leased till it expired. If we didn't come to something, it's done. And typically I don't do that with clients. In fact, I like websites where I build a website and then I just hand it off, and then they just renew hosting. That's a beautiful thing. But the way this guy treated me and those around me and everything, I was like, nah, it's done. I shut it down. He called me up. He demanded the templates for the website, and I go, sure, you have the templates. You got to pay price for a website. You got to pay $3,000, and I'll give you the templates. This was our initial agreement, because he always held that agreement over my head, but he didn't realize that it was under lease. I made sure he took lease out in the initial agreement. I was like, no, only way I'll do it if it's this lease in the contract, lease for 6 months. And he agreed to it, and I guess he forgot about it. And then at the end, it was like, that's what we got. So he had another design company, which I was familiar with. I knew the people that ran this other design company. He had them call me and go, hey, or it was through email. They go, hey, we need the design templates for his website. And I go, I'll tell you what I told him. It's like, I'll do it for $3,000. It's like, you give me $3,000, I'll give you the design template. They responded back, we can't do that, but we really need the template to maintain the website because he really liked the way that you built it. And I go, okay, well, I'll strike you guys a deal, design company. It's like, how about you give me your templates and I'll trade you? And I didn't hear anything back. So what that's called, I think the French they call it scope creep. And this is where if you don't have clear definitions in a design brief, an agreement, if you don't have clear definitions in writing, the client will pile on as much stuff as possible onto it. So if you're thinking, and this goes for art too, if you're wanting to do anything in design, anything like that, you have to have clear and concise terms. And this experience for me led me to like another really big project where, you know, I refused to do anything without a percentage up front. We had benchmarks, we had goals, everything was clear and concise about the responsibilities, and it went smooth as butter. So just remember that. Put that in your lexicon. Scope creep. When you're talking with a new client, don't get too excited about the project. Start in right away as like, okay, you see examples of my work or examples of my art. Based off of that understanding, we can move forward to a service agreement. Never put any pen to paper until you have a service agreement or design brief, whatever you want to call it, until you got something in writing, clear definition, benchmarks, and go forth and create. Alrighty, well, outside of that, I appreciate you hanging through this video. Check out my website, BAMvfx.com. Links down below. All sorts of other stuff, too. Yeah, be the best you that you can be. Later.